Hey girls, Kaylee here. So people are forever asking me about my hair care routine on YouTube because they want to know how I keep my hair shiny and how it looks, I don't know. Apparently it looks pretty on camera and people want to know why. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to tell you about my hair care routine. Now, first of all, let me tell you what I can't do. I'm not a hairstylist. I'm a normal person that's just done a bunch of research. So I will tell you what I do know and I'll tell you what I do, but there are some things I can't tell you, like how to grow your hair more, whether it's growing more hair or growing it longer. I've had long hair ever since I was 10 years old, so this is not something that I actually like, let me sit down and grow hair. This is not something I've really done a lot of. And if you have specific questions like on color treated hair, I know nothing about color treated hair, so I can't really help you too much there. Those disclaimers aside, I can't tell you what I do with my hair, and I've used, or at least I've gotten my sisters to try these things. They have the opposite texture of hair to me because I have very fine, thin hair, and they have very thick, coarse hair, and it's worked fantastically for them as well. So I think this will be good for you guys. I think it will be helpful. So yeah. That's what I'm going to do. I do also want to say I have an inordinate amount of hair care products. I cannot justify the amount of hair care products that I own. I started out collecting hair stuff because I was like, well, I have this YouTube channel and people are always asking me about hair care products, so I should be trying a bunch. And now I'm just like, I have too many. So try not to judge me too much. I'm just going to try to help you guys. I'm going to tell you guys about how I do it, like the principles that govern my hair care routine, and then I'll tell you, I'm not going to review, but I will tell you the products that I use. I'm going to start adding in product reviews on my channel, so I'm going to save that info for those videos because that will just make this video like 20 minutes long, and that is ridiculous. So we're going to skip all that. So, okay, first of all, let's talk about my routine, or actually no, let's talk about principles. So the principles that cover my hair care are to cleanse, condition, and protect my hair. The reason why I have all those cleansing I think is important because you need to get rid of excessive buildup on your hair. So buildup from products, buildup from dirt, buildup from oil, all that stuff is going to build up on your hair and it's going to weigh your hair down. Now when you have thin hair, it happens a lot and it happens really easily and very, very, very noticeably. So I have to cleanse my hair. It's something that's very, very important to me. And I generally do that with a anti-residue shampoo once a week. Talk about that more later, but that is the reason why I do that, so that my hair can have more natural volume and not be so weighed down by other products. Also, so that I can get the residue off and so that the products that I'm using can actually get in there and work on my hair. So I think it's important to use at least one product in your system that cleanses your hair and gets rid of all the gunk and nastiness. So that's number one. Number two is to condition. I think conditioning is important because when your hair is well moisturized and it's supple and it's soft, it looks great. It looks a lot shinier. It looks a lot healthier. Additionally, you're not going to have as much trouble with your ends because having ends that kind of fray out. Mine need to be cut right now because it's been about 5 months since I cut my hair. Shh. But when you have, you're not going to be able to see that, my camera so I can pick it up, but when your hair gets dry it tends to kind of fray out. I call it like a palm tree. It's like when you hold your ends up and they're doing this number at the very end. They're starting to get dry, and then after they do that for a little while they split, and that's because they're getting dry, they're getting old. It happens, it's part of hair, because once it's about this long, this hair is like 8 or 9 years old, so maybe not that old. A good couple years old though. So once it gets to this point, you want to keep it as moisturized and as supple as possible, and that way you keep it from getting nasty, starting to fray, starting to get frizzy, just a little bit longer. Additionally, frizz is generally caused by dryness in the hair, and when you have little flyaways, that's caused by both breakage and then dryness, because your hair will break up here and then you get essentially one of those little palm tree effects, and it goes like that, and then you can see all the little things like that. And a good way to protect against that is to condition quite a bit. So that's really why conditioning is so important to me. Now, people are probably going to ask in the comments now that I've mentioned it, how often should you get your hair cut? You should get your hair cut as soon as you start seeing significant damage on the ends, because once you can look down and you can see some split ends and you can see that your ends are doing, you know, this little number, it's time to get it cut, because once it starts doing that, that means that there's damage right here, and that damage can then travel up your hair shaft and you would have to get more cut off. So that's why you want to get it cut somewhat more frequently, but you don't necessarily have to get it cut every 6 weeks. I've heard people say that. It really just depends on your overall hair health. If you're looking down and your ends look fine, don't worry about it. You don't need to get them trimmed. If you're looking down and your ends look a little dicey, that's about when you want to start going in and seeing your hairstylist. So for me, I can wait 4 to 6 months before my ends start really getting like, okay, I need to cut these things off. But other people, you know, it might be a little bit shorter. So that one's up to you. But that's the principle that governs how often I cut my hair. And then the very last thing is to protect. And the reason why it's important to protect your hair is because heat is going to undo everything that you work to do on your hair when you condition it. It takes all the moisture out of your hair and it makes it brittle and it makes it a lot less strong. Yeah, I can think of the word. But it makes it easier to break, which would add to flyaways. So you want to use a heat protectant as much as you can and then stay away from heat as much as you can. I blow dry my hair every time I wash it, which isn't amazing for it, but I always do use a heat protectant. And then I hardly ever use heat tools on my hair. I use curling irons when I make tutorials, and I don't use a straightener because this is its natural texture. So my overall recommendation there, use a heat protectant anytime you use heat. Use it when you blow dry your hair and then use it again if you use a heat tool, and try to stay away from the heat tools as much as possible. So those are all the principles. And then how often I wash my hair and how I wash my hair, because people always ask this too. I wash my hair every other day because it's important for your natural oils to get to work on your hair and to nourish your hair. I've noticed that my hair is a lot better whenever it's kind of taking care of itself naturally. So I try to do every other day. Sometimes it's hard to skip that second day, and I don't have time in this video to talk about that and talk about how to make that happen. So put a pin in that thought. I'll do it in another video, but I will eventually talk about making it through that second day. Because I know with fine, thin hair, it is very, very hard to make it through that second day sometimes, especially if you have an oily scalp. But if you can, it's good to do. So I wash my hair every other day, and when I do, people always ask how I shampoo my hair. I put my shampoo in my hair, I put all my hair on top of my head, and I scrub it. That's not necessarily how you're supposed to do it, but it's how I do it. And then after I get the soap all through my hair, then I reach my hair or my hands into my roots and I massage my roots. That way I can clean my scalp a little bit, because your scalp needs to be cleaned just as much as your hair does. So that actually helps my hair to have more natural volume as well, without having to use like mousses and stuff like that. So it's a good thing to do. And then when I use my conditioner, I put it through the ends only, so through this area. Because I have an oily scalp, it would kind of make my hair more oily if I was to put it all up here. So I keep it down here, and then I put a little tiny bit on the ends of my fringe right here, just to keep them healthy. And then I put it all in a knot at the back of my neck, and I leave it there while I wash myself, brush my teeth, do whatever, so that it has more time to sit and work on my hair. But I put it in a knot because I don't want it sitting on my back and clogging my pores, because that's kind of gross. So yeah, that's, I think, all the stuff that I needed to say about showering. But people always ask me this question, so I wanted to get that in there. Okay, so now that I've talked about principles and everything for 8 minutes, let's talk about what I actually do. So I use daily, every time I take a shower, which, you know, every other day, I use a moisturizing shampoo and a moisturizing conditioner. I chose moisturizing shampoos and conditioners because I think your shampoo and your conditioner ought to be your hair care. They ought to be what takes care of your hair. And then if you want to add volume or a certain texture to your hair, you can do that later with leave-in products like a mousse or a spray or something like that. But I really think that your shampoos and your conditioners ought to be about taking care of your hair. So every day I use a moisturizing shampoo and conditioner, and I like, if you're looking in the drugstore, I like the Suave Professional's Moisturizing Almond and Shea Butter Shampoo, or the Renpure Organics My Pretty Hair is Parched Moisturizing Shampoo. Both of those are great. Talk about them later. And then if you're looking for a more higher, not really high end, but higher end, I really like the Rusk Moist Shampoo. Smells phenomenal. It's like strawberries, and I really like it. So the moisturizing shampoos, and then I only have one daily conditioner, because you see I have a couple shampoos that I like. This is my daily conditioner. This is the only conditioner I care about using because it's phenomenal. And it's only $3 at the drugstore, and it's the Suave Almond and Shea Butter Conditioner. So it's the twin to the shampoo that I just showed. So this is phenomenal. So those are the you don't have to use 3 shampoos. I don't use those 3 shampoos every time I take a shower. Those are 3 moisturizing shampoos that I think are good. So I use a moisturizing shampoo and a moisturizing conditioner. And then when I get out of the shower, I use a leave-in conditioner. And I think leave-in conditioners are important because it just keeps adding moisture into your hair. I notice a huge difference when I do that. It also helps to detangle your hair, so if you have thick hair, you're not going to be breaking your hair by trying to brush it out as much, because it helps to detangle. And it also helps to moisturize your hair and do all the stuff that your conditioner is doing. So it's just adding to what we're already doing. So my recommendation for that is Got2B's Smooth Operator Leave-In Conditioner. This also is pretty much the only one that I use. I really, really, really love it. So yeah, it's phenomenal. I think that's all I have to say about that. Yep. And then the last thing that I do every single time I take a shower is to use a heat protectant, because I always blow dry my hair, because if I don't blow dry my hair, it's really, really, really flat. Like, you think this is flat, you just don't even know. And my favorite one, which is just missing in action today, I can't find it, is the Treseme Heat Tamer Spray. And if you watch any tutorial in which I use heat, I use that spray. It's about $3 at any discount or drugstore, and it works really, really well. I like it a lot. Another great one if you have thick hair and you're looking for something to help smooth your hair down and give it some shine as well as protect your hair, is Got2B's Crazy Sleek Conditioning Flat Iron and Blow Dry Lotion. This stuff is really, really good. If you have thin hair, it kind of weighs my hair down. So if you have thin hair, you might want to stick away from this, just because it really does weigh my hair down a lot. But if you have thicker hair, this is a phenomenal product. So I really like it a lot. But yeah, so I always use a heat protectant. So again, to recap, every single time I take a shower, I use a moisturizing shampoo and conditioner, and then I use a leave-in conditioner, and then I use a heat protectant before I blow dry my hair. And if I use any styling tools, then I blow dry, or I heat protectant before that as well. And I've already gone over why I do all of that. It's to keep my hair nicely conditioned. I use the protectant to keep my hair from getting damaged by heat, and yes. And then, additionally, once a week, I use my anti-residue shampoo by Nutrogina. Looks like this. It's about $6. I had one that lasted me for a year. This is only my second bottle. I've been using this stuff for like a year and a half. It's ridiculous. And what this does is it completely strips your hair of everything. So you do not want to do this more than once a week, because that also means it's taking away your natural oils, which you don't want to do too often. But it will get rid of all the buildup that you have from maybe mousses or different products that you're putting in your hair often. This will help to take all that away. Additionally, it'll take away excess oil and buildup. That helps to make some natural volume in your hair, so it's not so weighed down and heavy. It also helps to take away all the stuff that's sitting on top of your hair, so that your products can get in and actually work on your hair. It's kind of like exfoliating your skin, how you have to exfoliate those dead skin cells off so that your moisturizers can get in and work on your skin. This does the same thing for your hair. So, I'm a big fan. I use this, and I really know, like, this is what makes it possible for me to go every other day without washing my hair, because without this I cannot do it. And the last thing that I do, and I do these things in the same shower, I use this, I don't use another shampoo after it, I just use this one, and then I use this. And this is my new deep conditioner. In the past I've used the Aussie 3-Minute Miracle Deep Conditioner. Works fine, it's like $3. I like it, I just like this one better. And this is the Renpure Organics Amazing Miracle Deep Penetrating Reconstructor. It's phenomenal. This is a gel-based conditioner. It feels like a gel. Like if you were to squeeze out some hair gel to put in your hair, that's what this feels like. I find that it absorbs really, really well, and it coats the hair really well without weighing my hair down or anything like that. And it gives an amazing shine, and it really does help to nourish and improve the general texture of my hair. So I use this once a week as kind of something to augment what I'm already doing and make it work even better, make my hair even healthier. So that's a lot of stuff, I know. So let me just tell you what I think is good to do. If you are not really, I'm going to give you steps, okay? The first step is to start using a moisturizing shampoo and conditioner. So if you don't have one of those already, use up what you have and then get a moisturizing shampoo and conditioner, because that's really going to help you a lot, because then every day you're moisturizing your hair, or every time you shower, you're moisturizing your hair and you're taking care of your hair. If you already have that, or then the next step after that is to start using I would say start using a heat protectant, because if you're using heat and you're not using a protectant, that is killing your hair. So start using a protectant. It's really, really good for you. So if you're already using a moisturizing shampoo and a heat protectant, then I recommend adding a leave-in conditioner. because it's really, really, really important, and I think this is one of those things that has just really helped my hair a lot. And then if you're doing all of those and you just really want to get crazy with it and be a crazy person like me, then I would recommend adding these things in. So, because I know all of you guys, some of you guys are high schoolers, you're not going to be able to go out and buy everything, that's completely understandable. Maybe some of you guys don't really want to spend that much effort on your hair. Again, that is completely understandable. I completely get that. I still think it's a bit ridiculous that I do this much with my hair, but anyway, I do. So if you guys don't want to do all that, it's completely understandable. So that's why I gave you those steps. If you only want to do one thing, I would recommend starting with the moisturizing shampoo and conditioner. If you want to add on to that, protect your hair with some heat protectant. If you want to add on to that, use a leave-in conditioner. And then if you're still crazy like me, you can start using an anti-residue shampoo and a deep conditioner once a week. I think it's a great thing to do. So yeah, oh man, I hope I covered everything. In 15 minutes, let's hope that I imparted some helpful information and you guys learned something. I hope that I covered any questions you have, but if you have any questions, check the comments. You can ask me questions, I'll be answering them, but I usually only answer questions once. So check and see if I've answered your question already, and if not, feel free to ask me. And that's it. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!